Oh, we were gonna do Sonya Massey. This is a horrifying video. We briefly touched on it with a meme. So in Illinois, sheriff's deputies called to a home and then shoots the person that called 911 in her home.
Out to an unnerving
I'm not going to
story
show you the video.
Illinois, where a black woman was killed by a sheriff's deputy.
I don't know how many people have seen it, but it's one of the worst ones I've seen since the Carver shooting.
Yeah.
If people remember that one. One of the,
911 for help. Shocking body camera footage shows the moments before, during, and after a sheriff's deputy shot and killed 36-year-old mother of two, Sonya Massey, on July 6th. That now former deputy, Sean Grayson, has pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. Roxana Saberi has more.
They're charging with first degree? I didn't know that.
He looks like a not racist person.
Well, yeah.
Like judging by both his actions and also just, if I didn't know anything, I would say that's definitely a not racist guy.
I don't know if it was his tattoos specifically, but at least one of the cops on the body cam footage, you can see like a black sun tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, classic.
More from Springfield, Illinois, and a warning: the video you're about to see in this story is incredibly disturbing.
The body camera video shows Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson and his partner searching around Sonya Massey's home in Springfield, Illinois, around 1 a.m. after she'd called 911 reporting a prowler.
Sheriff's office!
The officers waited more than 3 minutes before Massey
that's not a
opens
black
the
sun,
door
but
and
Don't
something.
hurt me. I don't know what that is.
Hurt you. You called us.
Okay.
So what'd you hear?
Somebody keeps outside my house.
A few minutes later,
It's like wild that they are aware that this is the person who called them.
Yeah.
And then they still do this execution. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of seem like he went into it wanting to kill somebody.
This is the most, how can I get a Nazi tattoo without it obviously being a Nazi tattoo I've ever seen?
Yeah. Maybe he just really loves like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Who knows?
Went inside.
What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. You're not in trouble. I just need to text.
At one point, Massey got up to remove a pot of hot water from the stove.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
But within seconds...
Yeah, the cop himself literally says, like, you know...
He's suggesting that she do that.
Yeah.
Like, Christ.
The moment turned tense.
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, that means like I'm not. Why would you suggest I'm doing that?
Shoot your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot. Drop the pot.
Investigators say Grayson fired
like
3 times, striking
ground.
Massey in the face. The second officer tried to
like
give the
no way she could have
36-year-old
even
first
touched them with
aid,
that.
even though
it's
Yeah,
just
these
pure
guys,
evil,
these guys
nasty
should
shit.
cry. Like,
Grayson
God,
discouraged him.
I'm gonna go get my kit.
She's done.
He laughs, too. He goes, nah, it's a headshot. Haha, she's done. Look,
Yeah.
She's done.
you can hear it in his voice.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, they say she threw the water when it just fell after she got shot in the head.
Yeah, like out of the
Grayson later described the incident to
ones we've
responding
seen
officers.
where there's like a full recording of it.
She was the only one.
It reminds me so much of like the Carver shooting.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, Jesus.
No, she had boiling water and came at me with boiling water.
You shot her?
Yeah. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water. That's what all this is.
Massey was pronounced dead at a local hospital.
It was senseless what he did. And he never should have had a badge and a gun on his hip.
Massey's father, James Wilburn, says seeing the footage of his daughter's death makes him angry and heartbroken.
What's the hardest part about this for you?
The last words that my daughter said to me was, "Daddy, I love you." And to know and realize that I won't see her again. I can't talk to her again.
I think they also lied, right? They lied. Classic. They lied about like how she died.
Yeah.
How she was murdered. Instead of that, they went in 6 different police departments. Former sheriff's deputy who fatally shot Sonya Massey held 6 police shots.
Move these guys around like presumed kids. They did the same thing thing. They just shuffle them around like every county or township.
Yeah. Former sheriff's deputy who fatally shot Sonya Massey in her Illinois home while responding to her call for help has held six different police jobs since 2020. Since 2020, in 4 years, the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board confirmed to ABC.
Is there
body camera footage released Monday shows former deputy Sean Grayson yelling at Massey, an unarmed 36-year-old woman and mother of two, to put down a pot of boiling hot water. The footage
after he told her to do that. After he told her to take it off the stove.
The footage reviewed by ABC News shows that Massey told the deputy, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and then she apologized after the officer threatened to shoot her. She poured the water into the sink and ducked down behind a counter, covering her face with what appears to be red oven mitt. She briefly rose, and then Grayson shot her 3 times in the face. A review by Illinois State Police found that Grayson was not justified in his use of deadly force. The shocking aspect of this story is not that there was another police killing of an unarmed black woman in her own home, but instead the fact that there was like actually swift criminal punishment for the actual perpetrator.
Yeah,
which is like legitimately shocking.
It's such a low bar, but it was at least.
Apparently he was also discharged from the army for misconduct. Like, this dude is,
if you get like dishonorably discharged from the army, you should not be given a job with any sheriff's department or police department. I don't know how that isn't immediately disqualifying.
It's because he got 2 DUIs in 2015 and 2016, so they were like, oh yeah,
good. This guy has great judgment.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't know how. Like, what is there any other job that people know of where it's like you can that bad and they just move you around? Only a few. It's like cop and priest.
Yeah. State's Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board shows Grayson worked for 6 different departments over 4 years. Through a FOIA request, Juan News found records showing he left the previous departments because he was searching for full-time employment. Before being hired full-time at Sangamon County, Grayson was a full-time officer for the Auburn Police Department and Logan County Sheriff's Office. In one document, Grayson admitted to being arrested previously for a DUI. Court records show he was arrested in 2015 and 2016 on 2 separate incidents. His job with Sangamon County was terminated last week when a grand jury indicted him on 3 counts of first-degree murder and other charges in the shooting of Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old Springfield woman who was shot after making a 911 call. Incredible stuff. Grayson, who is white, has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct in Massey's death. Illinois Law Enforcement Training Standards Board said he had 3 full-time and 3 part-time jobs in 4 police departments and 2 sheriff's offices over the past 4 years, all within the state of Illinois. Grayson was employed in 3 different police departments in 2021 alone. The records show his shortest term of employment was with the Kinsade Police Department, where he was employed for just over 3 months. Records list his reason for leaving as other. His longest term of employment was Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, where he worked for a year and 2 months. Grayson was fired from the Sangamon County last week following Massey's death. He worked part-time at the Pawnee Police Department from August 2020 to July 2021. Reason for listing other. Wait, he had a Totenkopf skull tattoo? Are you sure? No, that's not a Totenkopf.
I don't think that's a Totenkopf.
Yeah, that's not a Totenkopf, but it's fine. We know he's
we saw him senselessly premeditatedly kill someone.
Yeah, that's not a Totenkopf,
camera.
but yeah, he assassinated an unarmed black woman in front of our eyes. That usually, and then he also chuckled when he said, nah, don't waste the med kit on her.
Yeah.
She's dead.
He felt nothing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Her son telling the reporters that they refused to tell him who shot his mom after telling the family it was a suicide earlier.
Well,
they told me,
the
family it was
a
suicide?
hospital, actually. I never got a call from the police or whatever. But they told me that my mom, she got shot in the eye and it came out her neck. And they didn't tell me who. They were just saying somebody. They never would tell me who. They just kept on saying someone shot her. They would never tell me who shot my mom, though. So, and I think I was the first person to find it out, too. I had to go tell my grandma myself. That's all I can say.
And you kept asking who?
Yeah, they wouldn't tell me at all.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, it's
just, like, they told him it was a suit. Like, is anyone else from this department even gonna like lose their job over this? Like, God.
Nope. Shortly after, Grayson can be heard asking dispatchers a question. Does she have any call history for being 1096? Grayson asked at 1:26 a.m. A 1096 call refers to someone suffering from mental health issues. On the body cam video, Grayson can be seen asking Massey multiple questions about her mental health, like whether she has taken any medication. At one point, he even slows down his speech to ask her a question. After Grayson posed the question, a dispatcher could be heard asking if the gunshot wound was self-inflicted. The answer given by deputies is not clear. In a different recording from later in the morning, a dispatcher says the deputy's response was too short, and the county office's recording software did not pick it up clearly. Philly. From there, dispatch calls in more units to the scene from multiple different agencies. We don't actually know what happened. He just screamed, shot fired. Somebody heard. One of the dispatchers heard the gunshots and said female shot in the head, but we don't know if she shot herself or if a deputy shot her, the county dispatcher said. The dispatcher takes a pause and then adds more information. They're now saying self-inflicted, she added. So like their original reporting was just to hide it and make it seem like she shot herself.
Yeah, if this wasn't recorded, like we would have probably never heard about this.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder how many things like this, you know, where we're told it's like a suicide or something.
The reason for dishonorable discharge would be equivalent to a civilian committing a felony. That's how serious his conduct was. Was he honorably discharged or dishonorably? U.S. Army dismissed for serious. Documents obtained by the Kincaid Police Department where Grayson worked previously noted that he was discharged from the Army in 2016 for the Fort Riley Army installation, Kansas for misconduct. Serious offense. Army officials confirmed Grayson was a wheeled vehicle mechanic from May 2014 to February 2016, but declined to provide further details about his discharge. I watched the video. Nobody ever said, no one ever said she shot herself. No, this is after, when they're talking to dispatchers afterwards. Do you not see it? This is WGN9. It's not like some random blog we're looking at. It's local news reporting that went in and talked to and got records with the dispatchers. It's a transcript, chatter. It's not directly from the video that you may or may not have watched. Here's Sonya Massey's dad affirming that this would have gone nowhere if not for the body cam.
I'm calling for the sheriff's resignation because I think it's a culture to treat this family this bad, to call these lies. If it were not for that camera footage, we as a people, they would have lied and they would have lied their way right out of this.
Look at the video of when he steps outside. All the other cops are not even making eye contact with him. It's eerie because you can see immediately they knew he had f***ed up. If there was no body camera footage, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have covered for him. I mean, they tried to cover for him.
Yeah.
Now, of course, having said all of this, even though this is dead to rights, like 100% a straight up murder with like pretty much no evidence to the contrary, there are still people all over Twitter that were posting that racist ass like I showed you earlier about how like she was asking for it and that she deserved it. Classic.
Yeah, like she went out of her way to like empty the pot. She was turning the stove off. The cop told her to do that. Like he suggested it. And the I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's her. She's saying like, why are you even suggesting I would do that?
Yeah. Don't DAs work with police? What interest do they have in prosecuting cops? It depends.
I mean, like with something like this bad, even like the most cynical reading is that like you need to maintain like some level of legitimacy in the eyes of like, you know, in the eyes of your constituents.
Yeah. And also it depends in terms of like, I mean, there are like progressive DAs that like there are reform DAs, right? That right-wing Republicans constantly talk about how like George Soros is funding all around the country or whatever. Like Larry Krasner. Like there are definitely DAs out there now, especially that do put the crosshairs on police malpractice, police misconduct, which is weird because like they technically should be doing that all the time unconditionally. Like you shouldn't be considered like a different kind of DA to do that because the law is the law, right? But they did that. I don't know what else to say about this. People claiming she threw water are so infuriating because they don't stop to think that they're saying some hot water deserves a bullet to the head. That's always what's going to happen. And if there's nothing, they will just lie. And in this circumstance, there's nothing. So they're just lying. If he thought water would be thrown, he should have disengaged. Cops are 100% the wrong. No, that's not even a thing. Like that's not even.
Yeah, most of the people saying that don't even like believe that. You know,
yeah,
they don't even like believe
they're
that
not
she
being
was going
serious.
to do that.
Yeah, they're not being serious, especially when the footage doesn't show that anyway. Like she literally puts it down and apologizes and then still gets shot in the head, and then the cop laughs about it afterwards too. So subtitled Bodge, here's a 4cent fan. Can you explain the psychology behind the shooter doing that on body camera if he didn't have a reason? I don't know. He's a rabid little freak. I don't know. What was the psychology behind Derek Chauvin literally executing George Floyd in front of 45 eyewitnesses in broad daylight by putting his goddamn knee on his neck? Also, I don't think his body camera was on. I think it was the other cop's body cam that was on. That's what caught him. The psychology is cops know that they can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Or both were on. Someone's saying shooter's camera was off, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean, like I don't think there's a limited amount to of how much you can get inside someone's head in a given moment, but I don't really think there's anything useful you could ascertain beyond like he just probably wanted to kill somebody that day.
Yeah. He turns his cam on after the shooting, but it keeps the 30. Oh, that's right. So body camera footage always has like roaming footage. So it's permanently on and it collects data 30 seconds prior and 30 seconds after you turn it on or off. That's actually literally the reason why some cops get caught. Like for example, in Baltimore Police Department, they famously have a case where they would go and like there's a group of like there's like a drug unit that goes in, arrests someone, walks over, dumps a bag of drugs and hides it, walks away from the bag of drugs, turns on his body camera, walks up to the area, the pile that he just neatly organized, conveniently finds a bag of drugs and goes, oh, well, there's drugs here. This arrest is warranted. Meanwhile, because the body camera has roaming footage, they have the 30 seconds prior to him turning on his body camera and it perfectly corresponds to him literally dumping the drugs there to begin with, only to find it. Yeah, this is a famous case from Baltimore from a couple years back.
I never heard of this.
Yeah, I covered it at the time. See, look at this. Look at this.
If you get like the deck is so stacked for you if you're a cop and like you get caught doing this, like labor camp. They should make you build civilian F-16s.
I also think like there's other provisions too. Like I think body cameras automatically turn on or automatically start recording when you shoot too. But there's footage of her trying to throw water after the first shot. No, dude, there's no. What are you talking about?
What?
No, we just read the reporting on the matter.
First shot.
Yeah, she literally says, I apologize, gets down, picks her head back up, and then gets shot. I saw the video that makes it look like she throws the pot. People are saying it's AI manipulated footage. I don't know. What? I mean, none of this makes a difference in the equation for the record.
I mean, she emptied the pot.
What are we talking
before
about?
The first shot came out. Like, what the are we talking about here?
Trolls are making up shit. Heard about that at work, even though the doctor footage is more likely seen her as losing control of the pot as she falls after being shot.
Or like trying to like hold it up to shield herself or something. Like,
I'm a little bit confused by what people are trying to imply here. If you slow it down, you can see her picking it up a second time right before the shot. I'm not on the cop side, but it's objectively right there. What? There's a big debate surrounding whether or not she threw the pot. Yeah, I don't think it matters, but people are debating it. This is the video I saw that I assume people are referring to. Here's the slow motion video of Sonya Massey throwing the pot at the opposite. That video literally does not show like any pot or whatsoever.
Yeah, this is
what is in her, like I can't even tell what's in her hand, but that's not even the real video.
Yeah.
And even then, oh wait, no, he says drop the pot and she does, doesn't she? This is before he starts shooting. So I think they doctored it. She didn't throw the pot, but it's in her hands at the time of the shots being fired. Even then, there's no justifiable reason to shoot. Are you serious? Watch it, you're tripping. No, dude is after. Doesn't matter. She goes back up after saying I'm sorry. She puts it down, then picks it back up, but the use of force is not justified. She was bent down, kneeling when she was shot. Life-threatening cookware versus guns drawn. Any rationalizing to the benefit of the cops is stupid as yeah, like what are we talking about? Stop giving this oxygen. Yeah, I mean, literally, this doesn't matter. I don't give a shit that she's holding up the pot. You're out of your mind if you think that is like reasonable use of force there. It's also wild, which is like, it seems like the cops are not on board with this either. Like they swiftly issued charges. Like I think she goes back to pick it up. She goes back to pick up the pot because they keep saying drop the pot, drop the fucking pot. Like she drops it, gets down on her knees, goes back up to pick it up. She literally apologized before they executed her. Stop encouraging this Reddit investigator. Man, shut the up, okay? I know these are not good faith arguments, but for the upcoming week, you're going to be hearing these bad faith arguments. So would you rather me know all of the details in order to address it more efficiently, or would you rather me just go, oh, sorry, I'm not going to do that? I know it's stupid as it's just horrific Nazi shit. But ultimately, I want to make sure that I have all of the details. Yeah. Also, it's, you know, it doesn't even matter because the cops immediately said that it was self-inflicted.
Right.
Classic.
Yeah. I mean, like, if they thought it was justified, they would not have ran with that.
Yeah.